From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. Silver is trading at $19.88 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,306 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $549. AntiWar.com reports the latest Gaza ceasefire continues to hold, and the Cairo-based peace talks seem to still be making good progress, despite Israeli officials warning of significant gaps that remain before a long-term truce can be finalized. The biggest gap may not be in the negotiations themselves, but in the Israeli Security Cabinet, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has an uphill battle in trying to convince many to accept peace on any terms. Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon, who is seen as on Netanyahu's side in the cabinet, seems to be trying to reassure the hawks that peace isn't imminent, insisting that the Gaza operation could be far from over. The most recent reports suggest the deal in principle already involves expanding Gaza's fishing zone from 3 miles to 6, with Israel promising to expand it to 12 in the future. Israel also promises to ease travel between Gaza and the West Bank and increase the amount of trucks allowed to bring merchandise into the Strip. The big sticking point remains the construction of a UN-managed seaport and/or reopening the Gaza International Airport. Israel insists it isn't prepared to discuss either, though this may be just a negotiating tactic. In the spirit of Motorhome Diaries and Liberty on Tour, I intend to take the message of peace, love, and liberty on the road. During the 104-day trip, I'll be visiting at least 10 cities across the country, speaking to people about the ideas of peace, love, and liberty. To find out more about the tour or to donate, visit GoFundMe.com/FPPCC. That's GoFundMe.com/FPPCC. The Washington Post reports a federal judge on Tuesday upheld Maryland's ban on assault weapons and large-capacity magazines. The law banning the guns, which was passed in May of 2013, was challenged in court by a group of 9 plaintiffs, including gun stores, gun ownership organizations, and individuals. U.S. District Judge Catherine C. Blake wrote, "Upon review of all the parties' evidence, the court seriously doubts that the banned assault long guns are commonly possessed for lawful purposes, particularly self-defense at the home, which is the core of the Second Amendment right." She concluded as well that the act substantially serves the government's interest in protecting public safety. The U.S. Supreme Court declared in the landmark Heller case, which struck down the District of Columbia's ban in 2008, that individuals have the right to gun ownership. But, Blake wrote, states have the power to regulate that right. Maryland's law, which was passed 5 months after the mass shooting in an elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut, made the possession or sale of an assault weapon or a magazine capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition a misdemeanor in Maryland. A federal law banning assault weapons expired in 2004. A few other states banned the weapons. Most of the 9 plaintiffs who tried to take down the ban declined or did not respond to requests for comment on Tuesday afternoon. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. AntiWar.com reports Ukrainian army officials insisted there is no deal in place for the Russian aid convoy which departed Moscow, and that they will block it from entering Ukrainian territory. Ukrainian officials insisted any aid deliveries had to be done through the Red Cross, and that the aid would have to be transferred to Red Cross vehicles before entering Ukraine, which, despite all the complaining, is exactly what Russia already said they were planning to do. The Russian convoy is expected to arrive at the border in 2 days, and will offload its massive cargo of humanitarian aid to the Red Cross. The convoy will then be accompanied by OSCE representatives during the brief trip from the border to Luhansk. The lag between the convoy leaving Moscow and reaching the border will hopefully give the Red Cross more time to sort things out with the Ukrainian military, though at the same time it means Ukraine will likely continue to treat the shipment as some sort of military incursion, despite Russia promising not to accompany it with any armed escorts. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.